How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Garry's Mod, but you might not even think I'm playing Garry's Mod at first glance, because this is the Metroid Prime SWEP. And boy, oh boy, is this an amazing mod. So right off the bat, you can actually see the reflection of Samus's face in her own visor, which is really cool. All this and more we're going to get into, but first things first, this is an amazing SWEP. As you can see, we have the HUD elements. Up there in the top left, we have the radar. Now that's going to be extremely helpful when you're facing enemies. It'll tell you exactly where they are. You'll notice that we do have a little reticle glowing over them. That's going to pretty much let you know which enemy you'll target when you do decide to aim onto them using the shift key. Up there in the top, we have our energy, which is pretty much our health bar. On the bottom left, we have our different types of scanners, which we will get into. But for now, we'll show you that yes, you can pull out the scanner, and this is going to give you a bunch of details, which we will get into very shortly. There is a really cool mod I have downloaded with this. Over on the right, you're going to see our rocket reserves, which right now we do have 0. And then, right below that, you're going to see the type of weapon that we do have equipped. Alright guys, we have a lot of really cool stuff to showcase in this video. I'm so excited to finally show this off. So we're going to get into the basics first. This is the standard arm blaster. As you can see, you can choose to shoot it without aiming, or you can hold shift and lock on. It looks just like the Metroid Prime game. So if you guys don't know what Metroid is a game franchise that is owned by Nintendo, and it was one of the first games I ever played on the NES when I was a little kid. I think I was like 5 years old. I used to play Metroid, Mario, and Sonic on the Genesis. So even though I'm only 29, I played consoles that were like already a decade ahead of me, but I couldn't have asked for a better childhood in terms of video games. However, after many years of the Metroid series spanning across different consoles like the Super NES with Super Metroid, then came the magnum opus of the Metroid franchise on the GameCube, Metroid Prime. And it was Metroid's first foray into the 3D environment, and it seems like Nintendo just cannot miss going into 3D. Alright, so we have all this cool stuff, but what else can we do? Well, jumping, here we do have boosters, but we can't really do a whole lot else. Well, we are going to get into that, but first, let's go back to that scanner that I was talking about earlier, because there is a separate mod that you can download, and it adds some really cool tidbits to the scanner. So you're going to notice that the scanner does lock onto the near subject, but holding shift, you will scan. And as you can see, it even tells you what it really is. Now, normally the mod does not do this, I don't think. And seriously, props to the creator because this is so cool. We have crow, Corvus corone, a common species of bird from the Corvidae family found in Europe. These are usually found alone, but can nest in tall and isolated trees and are very smart. What about Father Gregory? Father Gregory, a human survivor. Father Gregory is an Eastern Orthodox preacher native from the mining town Ravenholm. Apparently he used to live here before the Combine dominated the Earth. Pretty cool stuff, and of course it does not stop there. Pretty much every character from Half-Life 2 has their own article. Like for instance, the head crab, a parasitic species from a far part of space called Zen. It really does add to the immersion to just make this feel like you're playing Metroid Prime. My favorite entry by far is G-Man. This entry is corrupted and could not be read. Super cool stuff, kind of sticking with the lore. But guys, definitely give this a shot. Let me know some of the entries that you find. Overall, a great companion to this mod. As you can see, it does say warning when we get close to the bomb, which is pretty cool. Alright guys, time to get into the meat of this mod. First, we're going to go over some of the settings. For one, you do have some player models, which is pretty cool. I definitely recommend downloading one of these and definitely giving it a shot. I went ahead and just put on the basic power suit for this one, but it does work very well with this mod. Next up, we do have the controls, which is going to let you adjust the different visors. And then onto display, we can adjust the field of view as well as the view model field of view. So really cool that we get both options here. And we also have a widescreen fix, because when you do go ahead and install this mod, it might look like this. Definitely turn this on if you do have a widescreen display. And then for game, we have dynamic lighting. Dynamic lighting is just going to be that little glow you get, which of course you could turn off, and I would only really turn it off if you're struggling with lag. And the next step, you can turn on and off scan dashing. We also can choose the amount of damage given. And then you can of course adjust the damage taken. So all this is kind of like difficulty in a way. So if you want the game to be more difficult, then you do have that option. And then we have gestures, which I gotta be honest with you guys, I really don't know what all this is. I did go ahead and try it. Alright, so I thought by gesture it meant that I like do some kind of animations, but apparently that's not the case. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that one is kind of lost on me, but if we do move on, we can adjust the auto aim. You can also adjust the opacity of the visor if it's a little too, well, bright, and then even for the helmet as well. Alright, so now that we have that out of the way, we can go ahead and adjust the amount of energy tanks we have, which is going to be our health bars up there. Now, unfortunately, that's going to keep beeping until we fill it up, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and add every single one of the different visors. You're going to notice down in the bottom left corner that as we click this, it's going to give us pretty much what we want. And while we're here, might as well talk about what these different scanners do. So right off the bat, we have the X-ray vision, and this is going to let you see cloaked enemies, as well as some hidden objects, which obviously probably isn't the most useful on this particular map or situation, but it definitely does look pretty cool. And then next up we have the thermal visor, and this is going to make it even easier to spot NPCs, even ones through walls, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, next up we have the space jump boots, and this is another upgrade. This one is going to let Samus double jump, which, as you can imagine, is going to be incredibly useful for a lot of things, like being able to jump over big obstacles, or of course just being able to make long distances. Or of course you can use it to also break your fall. And next up we have the grapple beam. Now in order to properly use this, you are going to need to make sure that you do spawn in the grapple points and entities. You can then hold shift and swing on these grapple points, which is going to be extremely handy if you need to make it across a large area. And then next up we do have different suits like the power suit. We also have the various suit, which is going to, well, just let you take 10% damage. And then we also have the gravity suit, which is going to let you take 20% less damage. So, cool. And then we have the Phazon suit, which lets you take 50% less damage. Now the cool thing about this is it will change how your actual player model looks. As you can see right here, we have the various suits, the gravity suits, and then the Phazon suit. Looks pretty damn badass. So now we take 50% less damage, which if you ask me, sounds pretty damn good. Alright, now we're going to talk about the next upgrade, and that's going to be the Powerball. And this is an absolute classic in the Metroid series, being able to turn into a little ball. Now of course, naturally you cannot jump, but if we go ahead and equip bombs, we can use these to jump, and also kill Breen. But I absolutely love the Morph Ball. The fact that it does use real physics to move around is just so fun, especially when you get into the swing of everything. But hey, maybe you want to go a bit faster. That's where the Boost Ball comes in. By holding down space, you can launch yourself forward with great speed, and that's going to be very good at, well, either getting around the map quickly or getting through a tough obstacle. Now the cool thing is we also have Super Bombs. By pressing the right click, you shoot out a massive explosion that vaporizes anything in its path. Alright, so unfortunately, this bomb is not going to be enough to push us up, but thankfully we have the Spider upgrade. And that's going to let you roll over metallic surfaces by holding down the shift key. Super fun stuff. And again, guys, sometimes I have to remind myself, I'm not playing Metroid Prime, I'm playing Garry's mod right now. Alright, now we're going to shift our focus over to the right here. We're going to now upgrade our weapons. First things first, we're going to go ahead and give ourselves some missiles. You can see we have 100 now. Pressing right click is going to let you shoot out missiles, and this is just going to be good for combat. For instance, I went ahead and spawned in some head crabs and zombies. So you can shoot blasters and then rockets to finish them off to do big damage. But of course, let's go ahead and activate the charge beam. So now, when we hold down left click, we can charge up our beam and release it all at once. And of course, as you'd expect, this is going to do a lot more damage than just your standard beam. Next up, we have the wave beam, and this is going to be a brand new weapon. The wave beam kind of has homing properties, but it shoots out these 3 beams that does do a bit more damage than the standard beam does. But of course, this is even better when you do decide to charge it. And it shoots out a massive plasma blast that does considerable damage to pretty much anything it hits. Alright, next up we have the ice beam, and this one is going to have a slower rate of fire, but it's going to make up for it, well, with the fact that it does a colossal amount of damage. Now, of course, as you'd expect, charging this up is going to give you some amazing results. A huge ice blast that, once you do shoot it on the ground, just looks awesome. And then next up we have the plasma beam, and this thing really is special. It is the most powerful weapon it shoots a gigantic singular beam out. And as you'd expect, this is going to really hurt. It also sets NPCs on fire, which is really cool. NPCs like the Combine and zombies will have special reactions to this fire, so that might make it more worth using. But of course, if we were to go ahead and charge it up, I mean, the results pretty much speak for themselves. Easily being able to one-shot basic NPCs. Alright, now we have this super missile. Now in order to use this, go ahead and charge up the standard blaster and then press right click. And you'll shoot out a supercharged missile, which is just awesome looking. I mean, I know I keep saying awesome looking, but like really, this mod is just blowing me away right now. You can see, again, super strong. Alright, next up we have the Wave Buster. Same thing, charge up a full blast, press the rocket button, and you'll shoot out a continuous beam that constantly melts the enemy. That is pretty damn bitchin', and unfortunately, it will constantly drain your rockets. Alright, next up we do have the Ice Spreader. Again, same thing, charge up, and it shoots out a giant sheet of ice that pretty much kills anything in front of you. That is so cool. I also love the ice effect that it leaves behind. Alright, so what happens when you die? Well... oh, come on, man, just kill me. You get a really cool ending transmission, just like in the game. Alright guys, and last up we have the Plasma Beam, and yes, you know what's gonna happen. Charging up, pressing right click, is going to shoot a continuous flamethrower that burns everything, and it does so much damage! But again, make sure you do keep an eye on those rockets. So there you guys have it, an absolutely amazing add-on, and I definitely recommend any of you guys out there who love Metroid, or even just people that love sci-fi games, this might just suit your fancy. And this is an incredibly faithful recreation of said Metroid game. Trust me, I would know, I loved playing this game growing up, so this was kind of a dream come true for me here. But guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. As always, links will be in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to save 20% off on your next G Fuel order, definitely use code NecrosVideos94. And also, if you guys do want to become a member of the channel today, you'll get some really cool perks and some even better ones coming soon. I'll put all the links down below. Thank you all so much for watching this until the end. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, farewell.